Hi, this is Ravi Rose, founder of iRuse. Super pleased to be here with Dr. Mort Orman, who is an anger elimination coach. And we're going to be talking about the difference between anger elimination and anger management. There's a significant difference between the two, and what we're seeing is that there's a lot of anger, animosity, frustration that either comes from before the divorce, so maybe in the marriage, maybe it could be from your life as a child. Maybe you brought it into the marriage, or maybe it's this anger that just exploded as you separated, as you're going through the divorce process. There's so much going on, and you're not sure what to do, how to do it, and maybe you're on the borderline of really being angry and needing some help. So, Dr. Mort is here with us today. Thank you for being here. Super pleased to hearing your thoughts, your wisdom, and all your great insights on what people can do to really eliminate anger and understand the differences. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. So again, the purpose of this discussion is to help you understand the difference between anger management and anger elimination. And as was mentioned, and as you probably know, when you go through divorce, there's often lots of anger that surfaces. And even after the divorce has been finalized, there can be lots of lingering anger and resurfacing anger. And when you're in that situation and you have all that anger going on, you're going to try and deal with that as best you can. And if you seek advice or ask for help, you're most likely going to end up with anger management strategies. And there's thousands and thousands of anger management experts and books out there today, and any article on how to deal with anger during divorce that you might run into, it's probably going to give you anger management advice. You're rarely going to hear about anger elimination, and that's what this discussion I think is so important today. So I am an internal medicine doctor, and for 40 years I've been an anger elimination expert, and I've been teaching all kinds of people how to eliminate anger without anger management during those 4 decades. And there's only a handful of anger elimination experts in the world today, and I happen to be one of them. So get ready to learn all about the difference between anger elimination and anger management. So let's start with anger management. Most people have heard about anger management or are familiar with some of the concepts. You've probably heard about it. It's basically a group of strategies or techniques designed to calm you down when you get angry, to reduce your symptoms. It also includes some strategies for how to communicate when you're angry so you don't make things worse or cause other problems. And there's an underlying philosophy underneath anger management that goes something like, well, anger is just a part of life. You can't get rid of it. You can't stop it. So the best thing you can do is learn how to manage it and protect yourself from harm. Now, the key feature of anger management is that it directly deals with symptoms. It directly tries to reduce your symptoms and make you feel better. Anger elimination is also about reducing symptoms, but it does it in a different way. It does it by helping you deal with and recognize the underlying causes of your anger. And the philosophy behind anger elimination is you're not stuck with anger for your entire life. You don't have to keep living with it. You don't have to keep experiencing it. There are ways to get rid of it. There are ways to stop getting angry if you just have the right understandings and the right systems for doing that. Now, one of the first things anger elimination teaches is that anger doesn't come from outside of us. It doesn't come from all the things that are going on that we observe that we don't like, the behavior of other people, all kinds of external circumstances and events. Anger comes from within us. It comes from our brain, basically. It comes from how our brain tells us to look at things and look at the external events, interpret them, and our brain actually makes us look at things in ways that produces our anger. So every human emotion basically comes from an underlying set of brain filters. Usually there's only two or three of them involved, and they're usually not complex or difficult to understand. They're just invisible. So unless you're taught to understand them, you won't know what they're doing. And this is true not just for anger, it's true for any other emotion like guilt or worry or fear or sadness. They all come from our brain and the way our brain tells us to look at situations in life. Now, 40 years ago, when I was opening up my medical practice and after I'd gone through my medical training, I had lots of anger and anxiety and one relationship failure after another. And back in those days, I blamed it all on the external sources, external things outside of me. I didn't have the insights of what my brain was doing. But then I discovered that it was my brain. It wasn't all the things outside of me that I had been thinking was the problem. And I did a lot of research and I finally figured out how exactly my brain creates anger and how your brain creates anger and everyone's brain creates anger. And once I understood this sort of invisible brain mechanism, I was finally able to stop getting angry, stop being anxious, and I eliminated my pattern of relationship failures. So over the last 40 years, I've had very little anger or anxiety in my life, and my wife and I just celebrated our 41st wedding anniversary. And I guarantee you that would not have happened had I not learned how to stop getting angry and stop getting triggered so easily, which I discovered 40 years ago. So in my world and in my work with other people, anger elimination works much, much better than anger management. Now, you too can learn how to eliminate anger very quickly and very easily. I'd be happy to show you how to do it. All you have to do is reach out. There's really no need for you to continue having lots of anger during or after your divorce. You can learn how to stop it, but you won't learn that from anger management, but you can with anger elimination. So in summary, anger management is mainly about directly attacking symptoms and reducing symptoms. Anger elimination is about dealing with unwanted anger by dealing with the internal causes of your brain is making you angry. Both of these approaches have value. It's not that anger management doesn't have any value. It's just that if you want to cure your anger problems, you can't do it with anger management. You need to turn to anger elimination. So if you're interested in learning more or you'd like to talk to me about your own situation, please reach out. You can reach me at docorman@gmail.com. That's DOCORMAN@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to schedule a free consultation with you. So thanks for your attention and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thank you. I have a question. Is this talk therapy? Like, what are you doing with the individual? Are you diving in deeper into where did this come from? Where did it stem from? And you're trying to find the root cause?
Well, there's really no need to do all that deep dive like psychotherapy you would do in psychotherapy. This is
Right.
not psychotherapy. It's again, if you just understand the simple mechanism your brain is using, that's where the anger is coming from. That's all you really need to understand to get a handle on it so that you can take control rather than having the anger or other emotions control you. So you can, if you want to speculate about all the where it came from and all that, you can do that. It just, for most people, it doesn't give you the power to stop having the emotion. Whereas this approach does. And it's a very simple thing that you can learn. And then you understand what your brain is doing every time you have that particular emotion.
So by understanding what your brain is doing kind of reduces your tension that you're thinking it's an exterior factor, whereas you're just looking internally and saying, okay, something is going on within me.
Yes, but it's if to know that it's coming from you is one thing. To know exactly how it's coming from you is where the power is. So
Yes.
you have to know the formula your brain is using because then that shows you where your anger is coming from and that allows you to go to actually interact with your brain and decide where your brain is telling you the truth and when it's not telling you the truth. And that's what releases the anger. When you understand how your brain may be lying to you to make you angry and you figure out how it's doing it, then you can step in and say, wait a second, here's what's really true. And when you connect with the truth, and it's different from what your brain's been telling you, then the anger immediately dissolves. So
That's great.
that's the power of that methodology that I discovered 40 years ago and have been using, incredibly successfully ever since. It works like a charm, and it's not that difficult to learn.
Great. Wonderful. So this is very insightful. Thank you for sharing all this. Thank you all for watching. If you want to reach out to Dr. Mort, you can just DM him. All of his coordinates are here below and connect with him and have a free consultation to see if and how he can help you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Until the next time we speak, I wish you all a day that matters. Take care, everyone.